Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, where today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new Han Solo, making it the fourth Han Solo in this game, and he's called Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. And we also have a brand new Chewbacca, something people have been asking for a long time now, and his name is Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca. And today we have footage of both of these characters provided by EA, showcasing these guys in action. So let's get into it, check out the gameplay, check out their kit, and we'll get going from there. And before this ends up all over on Reddit and the forums, the 30-minute arena counter you are seeing is not coming to the game. This was recorded on a development build by EA, and they just tweaked the timer. So don't fret, don't go crazy, we're not getting a 30-minute timer. And with that out of the way, let's go and look at Veteran Smuggler Han Solo's kit. And the first thing to point out, he does not have the Rebel tag nor the Resistance tag, which means they aren't going to benefit from the crazy Rebel synergy that is going on in this game, and they have no synergy whatsoever with any other factions besides the Scoundrels. And on top of all that, the brand new Veteran Han Solo and Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca are both attackers, which is cool to see. And we see with Veteran Han Solo, he's going to be yet another Han Solo with a multi-attack on his basic. This basic attack deals physical damage to a target enemy, and it has a 50% chance to attack again, and the chance is doubled if the target is debuffed, aka a 100% chance to attack a second time. And on the second time he hits an enemy, he gets to inflict stagger for 2 turns. And stagger, in case you do not know, it's a debuff that is applied to the enemy, and the next time that enemy is hit by an attack, they lose all of their turn meter. Next here we have Can I Try That? Now you may notice this animation from the movie The Force Awakens. He gets to steal Chewbacca's bowcaster and use it, and it's actually quite a deadly AoE ability. He gets to deal physical damage to all the enemies, and he gets to stun the primary target for 1 turn with an 80% chance to inflict ability block on all enemies for 1 turn. And this has a cooldown of 3, and there are plenty of clips in this video where this can possibly do up to 12,000 damage on a critical attack per enemy, so it's not a weak AoE by any means. Now, Smuggler Han is not going to have any sort of leader ability, but he does have 2 unique abilities, with the first one being called Partner in Crime. Han has a plus 25% critical chance and plus 50% health steal. And when Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca takes damage, Han gains 20% critical damage, and this is stacking until he scores a critical hit. And then when Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca is defeated, Han gains 100% turn meter, his cooldowns are reset to 0, and he takes an additional turn after his next turn. So this unique is really going to dig into that deep friendship that both Han and Chewbacca have, so it's a really cool thing. And the more you attack Chewbacca, the more Han is going to step up his game to apply more damage onto your team. And the last unique is called Swindle. Whenever an enemy gains a buff, Han gains 25% counter chance, this is stacking, until the end of his next turn. And then whenever Han gains a debuff, he gains 50% defense, also stacking. A lot of stacking effects here until the end of his next turn. Finally, whenever Han gets a status effect, he gains 50 armor penetration, and this is also stacking, meaning he will potentially do more damage because he's getting under your armor until the end of his next turn. So you may be wondering, what are my immediate thoughts on this brand new Han Solo? Well, first of all, I see a lot of territory battle viability out of him, mainly because he has a really awesome and controlling AoE, does a good amount of damage, can stun, can ability block. He's got a lot of stacking effects as you're going through the waves, and you have a lot of enemies, a lot of Empire enemies that also gain a lot of buffs. Chewbacca might be hit a lot. He can possibly do a lot of amazing things for territory battles. For arena though, I'm not sure if he's going to be completely viable in the top end in arena. Right now, the game is very heavy on Rebel synergy, and without that Rebel tag on him, I don't think he's going to be a top contender as of now, but who knows, down the road it could very well be possible. But right now, I don't think he's going to be tearing things up in arena, and his kit doesn't look as insane as many of the other characters that are just tearing apart in arena right now. Next up here, this is probably what people are more excited for. We're not too enthusiastic about a 4th Han Solo in this game, but a lot of people really wanted to see a brand new Chewbacca. So instead of reworking the Clone Wars Chewbacca, they instead just made a brand new Chewbacca that has no Resistance tag, no Republic tag, no Rebellion tag, only basic Chewbacca here, and he is an attacker unlike the Clone Wars version. And man, this guy can do some scary damage in the right lineup. The basic attack that we have for veteran smuggler Chewbacca is called Explosive Bolt, and it's, well, kind of basic. It deals damage to a single enemy and has an 80% chance to daze them, which I love daze on a basic ability. It's great for Galactic War, good for Arena, but it's also going to be great for territory battles because there are so many enemies that love to counter off one another. Man, and this next ability called Furious Blow looks really good. He deals physical damage on a single enemy, but he gets to dispel all the buffs on them, stun them for 1 turn, inflict speed down on all enemies for 2 turns as well. But on top of this, this does some insane damage. Under Boba Fett leadership, this nearly did 40,000 damage. Who would have expected that from Chewbacca? I didn't, but it's really going to feel like this giant monster is just bum rushing you and doing a ton of damage. Like Smuggler Han Solo, this Chewbacca will not have a leadership ability, but this guy does have 2 unique abilities, with one of them being the exact same as veteran Smuggler Han Solo. This Chewbacca, when partner in crime is working in action, Chewbacca gets plus 25% critical chance and plus 50% health steal. And then whenever veteran smuggler Han Solo takes damage, Chewbacca gains plus 20% critical damage, which is stacking until he scores a critical hit. So imagine getting 20 hits without a single critical hit going. When he finally gets that single critical hit, it's going to be a nightmare. And then just like the veteran smuggler Han Solo, Chewbacca gets to gain 100% turn meter, reset his cooldowns, and take an additional turn after his next turn whenever smuggler Han Solo is defeated, which kind of resembles him back in The Force Awakens. And then finally, the last unique. Come on guys, let the Wookiee win at the start of each enemy turn. Chewbacca gains 12% offense, which is also stacking until he uses 2 abilities. And as you'll see with Chewbacca, man, he's got a lot of damage output. Again, I don't know if this is going to be amazing for Arena because Arena is very difficult right now. It's mostly Commander Luke Skywalker and a bunch of other guys, but just because of his damage output, it seems very promising. He could be used somewhere in the top end of Arena, but don't bet 100% that he's going to be Arena and meta viable right now. So now let's just get some closing thoughts here. First of all, the footage was provided to me. I didn't really get to feel it on my own. How did they really perform in Arena? Some of the footage provided isn't really against the toughest teams. I got some footage that had a Gear 10 Magma Trooper leadership. I know, that is crazy dangerous. And the last thing is, I don't know what the speed is and the health and protection of these 2 guys, so we are mostly going to do an analysis from a distance because of the lack of information and the lack of me testing out these guys. But overall, these guys really have a great synergy among each other, and it looks like they can do some pretty good damage. In regards to Arena, perhaps this could be something deadly, maybe around the top 100, maybe below that, mainly if you have a leadership that promotes a lot of offense, or perhaps you have a character that grants a lot of offense up. You can probably get Chewbacca to do some insane damage for your team. So if you're someone that's using perhaps a catch-all leadership, kind of like Boba Fett's or perhaps Anakin Skywalker's leadership that promote a lot of offense increases, these guys might work for your team. In regards to the raids, just from a distance again, I don't see too much Rancor raid viability. There isn't any sort of turn meter removal, no speed down, daze doesn't really affect the Rancor, so I'm not seeing much there for the Rancor raid, but for the AAT raid, you can definitely find something to work with. With Chewie's massive damage, you could probably take down some turrets pretty fast without a doubt. I'm not seeing too much for the Smuggler Han Solo, but again, as time goes on, we always find new ways of using these characters, but just from a distance, I'm not seeing, oh man, these guys are going to be Rancor raid or AAT viable characters. I'm not seeing that right from the very get-go. But the thing is, guys, normally a couple months ago we would say these characters don't look that good, but with territory battles out now, it's a really important game mode, and a lot of characters aren't up for the challenge. So I think these guys were designed to be some of the best territory battle characters. They have a lot of damage, a lot of stacking damage on top of that. They also have a lot of health steal when they attack, so when Han Solo uses his AoE, he's gaining a ton of health back while also stunning, ability blocking, and doing massive damage to the enemy. They increase their armor penetration over time, they increase their defense, they increase their counter chance, they have a chance of stacking up their critical damage to build up for an amazing tackle from Chewbacca or something of that sort. They're going to be great territory battle characters, and that's my initial assessment, and I think that's a very accurate one. Since we can't use characters like Death Trooper or Darth Maul to apply a lot of days, this guy is going to be very helpful. Having, for example, Smuggler, Chewbacca, and the Captain Han Solo, you might be able to apply a lot of days on the enemy, preventing them from counterattacking and gaining a bunch of assists. I think these two characters are going to be fantastic territory battle characters. And the last thing to note is that we do not know just yet how to unlock this character, what star count these characters come at, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully more info to come in the future. But on that bombshell, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know down below what your initial assessment is of these characters. Do you think they're just going to be amazing territory battle characters, or do you think there's something else going on that I might not be seeing right now? You guys let me know. Make sure you like this video if you did enjoy it, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And we will talk again very soon. Peace out.